Ever feel like AI is, well, stuck in this loop of almost there,
Hmm.
but not quite there yet? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Like, it can do amazing things,
Right.
but it's still missing that certain something.
Absolutely.
Well, we're diving into some research today that might have found the key to like unlocking some next level AI smarts.
Interesting.
And it all comes down to rules.
Rules.
Yeah, like the kind of basic rules that we all just kind of like
Yeah.
learn growing up.
Right. Like we just pick them up as we go along.
Exactly.
And it's not so easy for AI.
Not at all. So the paper we're looking at today is called
Wall-E World Alignment by Rule Learning Improves World Model-Based LLM Agents.
Catchy Title.
Right. It's a mouthful.
But it's looking at how to make large language models. You know, those LLMs everyone's talking about.
Yeah, the chatty AIs.
Exactly how to make them actually useful in the real world.
Because knowing how to use words is one thing.
Totally. Like you can have a huge vocabulary,
Right.
but still not know how to like build a house or
So-
navigate a city or...
Or you like play a game,
Yeah.
like Minecraft, for example.
Okay, perfect example. So how does this Wall-E system work? Does it like teach the AI how to mine for diamonds or something?
Well, in a way, yes. They actually did test it in Minecraft.
No way.
Yeah, and another environment called ALWorld, which is more like simulating household tasks.
Okay, so like making a cup of tea or something.
Exactly. Which sounds simple, but there are actually a lot of unspoken rules involved, right?
Totally. Like you wouldn't put the tea bag in after the milk.
Right. You'd probably end up with a soggy mess.
Exactly. And that's what AI would do without those rules.
And that's where Wall-E comes in. It lets the AI loose in these environments and watches what it does wrong.
So it's like giving a toddler free rein in the kitchen and seeing what happens.
Kind of, but Wall-E is much more analytical.
Mm-hmm.
It analyzes why the AI failed and then generates a rule to prevent that from happening again.
So if the AI tried to mine diamonds with like a wooden pickaxe...
Which wouldn't work very well.
Not at all.
Wall-E would learn from that mistake and create a rule like diamond mining requires an iron pickaxe or higher.
So it's basically giving the AI the cheat codes to the universe.
In a way, yes. It's giving it the knowledge it needs to succeed.
But how does it actually learn from these rules? Does it just like memorize a giant list?
It's actually more sophisticated than that. It uses a technique called reinforcement learning.
Reinforcement learning. Okay, so that's like giving it a treat when it does something, right?
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
It learns through positive and negative feedback.
Interesting. So each success or failure helps it understand the rules better.
Exactly. It's constantly fine-tuning its understanding based on its experiences.
That's really cool.
It's like building a foundation. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Each rule is like a building block, and the AI uses those blocks to like build up its understanding of how the world works.
So it's not just about like memorizing a bunch of random rules.
No, not at all.
It's about learning how to think strategically.
Exactly. It's about developing a deeper understanding of cause and effect.
That's fascinating. So what are the practical applications of this? Like what could we actually use this for?
Oh, the possibilities are pretty much endless.
Like what?
Well, imagine AI that could assist first responders in disaster situations.
Okay.
It could navigate dangerous environments, make split-second decisions based on complex rules and real-time data.
That's incredible.
Right. It could potentially save lives.
Wow. But it makes you wonder.
What's that?
If we're essentially programming these rules into the AI,
Yeah.
are we really creating smart AI or just like really obedient rule followers?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's no easy answer.
Right.
This research is just the first step.
Okay.
Right now, Wall-E is focused on relatively simple rules.
Right.
But as the technology develops, who knows how complex those rules could become.
So you're saying we could go from
Yeah.
don't mine diamonds with a stone pickaxe to like
Yeah.
understanding the complexities of international diplomacy or something.
Well, maybe not that complex.
Okay.
At least not yet. But it does show us that it's possible to create AI that doesn't just crunch data, but actually understands the underlying rules of a situation.
So instead of just throwing more data at the problem,
Right.
we're teaching AI to think more like we do,
Exactly.
but at a much faster pace.
Precisely. And the results speak for themselves.
Oh, yeah. What did they find?
In their tests, Wall-E achieved a record-high success rate for AI agents in the ALFWorld environment.
ALFWorld.
Yeah, the household simulation.
Right, right.
It was completing tasks far more efficiently than any AI had done before.
That's really impressive. But let's be real for a second.
No.
The real world is way messier than any controlled environment.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do we make sure AI doesn't like learn the wrong rules
Right.
or misinterpret the ones we give it?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And it's something researchers are actively working on.
Okay.
Because we need to ensure that AI understands the nuances of our world
Yeah.
with all its ethical complexities and gray areas.
Right. It's almost like we're trying to teach AI common sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is something that even humans struggle with sometimes.
Totally. So it's not just about the rules themselves.
Right.
It's also about the intent behind them
Yes.
and how those rules might be applied in different situations.
Precisely. And that brings us to another important question. How far can we actually scale this rule learning approach?
Right. Like, is there a limit?
Can we teach AI complex ethical reasoning?
Okay.
Or is that something that's inherently human?
Now that is a question to ponder.
It really is.
It's wild when you think about it. Like these simple rules,
Yeah.
the kind we just like do without even thinking.
Right.
They could be the key to like this whole new era of AI.
It's true.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this research so exciting.
Totally. Because if we can get AI to this level
Yeah.
with just basic rules,
Right.
imagine what we could do when it starts learning more complex stuff on its own.
Right.
I mean, are we talking about AI that could solve like climate change or?
It's definitely a possibility.
Wow.
I mean, think about it. AI that could not only analyze these huge problems,
Yeah.
but actually understand them.
Like a human.
Exactly. And then use that understanding to come up with solutions.
That's incredible. But also kind of scary, right?
Yeah, of course, any powerful technology comes with risks.
Right. Like, what if we create something we can't control?
That's why this kind of research is so important.
Okay.
It's not just about making AI smarter.
Right.
It's about making sure it's aligned with our values.
So it's like a balancing act.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need to push the boundaries of what's possible,
Yeah.
but also make sure we're doing it responsibly.
Well said. This deep dive has definitely given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
It seems like we're on the verge of something huge here.
We are.
But it's up to us to make sure we're ready for it.
I completely agree. And that's why I love having these conversations.
Me too.
Now,
Because the more we understand about AI,
yeah.
the better prepared we'll be for the future. Well, everyone, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI and rule learning. It's a fascinating field with huge implications for the future. And who knows, maybe the next big breakthrough will be inspired by something as simple as a game of Minecraft.
Or a cup of tea.
Or a cup of tea. Exactly. Thanks for listening.